Lately, there have been a ton of rumors about Spider-Man 4, and some of them have been a bit confusing. But lucky for us, a ton of new information has come to light. And so, I want to clear up the confusion. I want to also tell you this crazy rumor I heard about how the end of Spider-Man 4 is going to tie into that little piece of the symbiote that was left behind in Spider-Man No Way Home. It also potentially connects to Venom 3 and Secret Wars. Oh my god! Yes! Okay, so the first thing we got to talk about in this video is Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Reliable insider Daniel RPK recently suggested that Sony wanted to bring Tobey and Andrew back for Spider-Man 4. And a lot of fans didn't like that. A lot of fans just want a story with Tom Holland as Peter Parker, and you can see why. I mean, the end of Spider-Man No Way Home does essentially set up Peter as, like, the Peter Parker we know from comics. Like, he's broke, living in that stinky apartment. He's listening to a police scanner to try to find out where crime is going on. And he has a suit that's more traditional. It just looks more like an actual Spider-Man suit. It's not a suit made by Tony Stark, as Peter seems to have made it himself. And so I get it. I get it. Fans want that. They want more of Peter Parker being Peter Parker and Spider-Man being Spider-Man. And lucky for fans, a lot of people came forward and kind of clarified this. And when I talked to people behind the scenes, like, people were just confused as to what Daniel was even saying. Now, I will say that there is this strange kind of thread that goes all the way back to last year when I was told by reliable people that Tobey Maguire was likely going to be in this movie. But the way most people are making sense of this is that they will not be in the movie as far as a plot device. They may be in the movie in a post-credit scene or come in at the very end as a sort of link to other multiverse stuff. Now, Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus has recently come forward to suggest that Tobey and Andrew won't be in Spider-Man 4, but instead will be in Beyond the Spider-Verse and in Secret Wars. And we have rumors going all the way back to when Spider-Man No Way Home was coming out that Marvel and Sony really want Andrew and Tobey back for Secret Wars. And there's even been a lot of discussion of Tobey Maguire being a lead in the Secret Wars movies. But there's another crazy aspect to this movie that made me raise an eyebrow. And I think this could also tie into the multiverse, because I have heard that Sony wants their villains to be in Spider-Man 4, and they want to do the Sinister Six as mercenaries that are hired by Wilson Fisk. And when I heard this, it kind of made a lot of stuff make sense. Like, there were very old rumors that Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, will be in Spider-Man 4. And if you consider Morbius and the post-credit scene that was done in Morbius, it is possible that Sony wants to do this weird multiversal thing and then bring all of those people into 616 and have them actually fight against Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So I wonder if those villains will just pop up and there's not much of an explanation as far as, like, are those the ones from the Sony movies or are those the ones from the MCU? And then maybe it'll be revealed at the end of the film that there is something going on, that perhaps Kang or some other entity in the multiverse is allowing these villains to come in to 616 because maybe their universe is destroyed, or maybe there's just a reason they want to help Fisk out. I'm not really sure, but that's an interesting element to just kind of keep in mind when we hear all of these rumors. But okay, now let's get into the juicy stuff. This is the stuff with the symbiote, and it actually has to do with Kraven the Hunter. I think some of you will recall, but Kevin Feige has long been rumored to want Kraven the Hunter in the MCU. He apparently wanted Kraven to be the main villain of Spider-Man Far From Home. And then again, in Spider-Man No Way Home, there was a huge desire from Feige to have Kraven in that film. And I even remember hearing reports that they kind of changed it at the last minute, and instead of having Kraven in the actual movie, he just shows up via the blue sort of silhouette from the multiverse at the end when the spell is breaking. So this tracks with all those other rumors, but the people I talked to said Kevin Feige still wants Kraven the Hunter in Spider-Man 4. And not only does he want Kraven the Hunter, he wants Kraven to be the top secret mercenary that Wilson Fisk hires to come to New York City and to take out the different superheroes. Now, it's still unclear if this is going to be Aaron Taylor Johnson from the Sony Kraven movie. I could kind of see it being him, even if that movie does poorly, because I've heard rumors that the post-credit scene of the Kraven movie will have Kraven go hunt Morbius Morbius and Venom. And maybe that will lead him to 616 Peter Parker. I mean, who really knows, dude? Like, it's possible Feige just recasts Kraven and really does his own version of Kraven, but from what I understand, Sony really wants to use their villains from their movies to kind of give them more of a draw. So we don't really know who's going to be playing Kraven, if it's directly connected to the coming Kraven movie that Sony is releasing. But what I heard that's absolutely mind-blowing is that whoever they get as Kraven is going to kill Tom Holland's Peter Parker.
What did he say?
Yeah, no, I'm being totally serious. Tom Holland's Peter Parker is supposed to die in Spider-Man 4. Funeral and everything. Buried underground. But apparently, this is when the Venom symbiote that Venom left behind when him and Eddie Brock went back to their universe in the post-credit scene of No Way Home. That little bit of symbiote is going to crawl into the grave of Peter Parker, wrap around him, heal him, and Peter will emerge in the symbiote costume. So yeah, they're adapting Kraven's Last Hunt, and this feels like the reason that Feige has really wanted Kraven in the MCU, because this was something he wanted to set up. Now, I heard this was something that might happen originally in the 5th Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, but because things got pushed back because the whole Sony Marvel thing and just general delays with the writer strikes and all sorts of stuff, they now need Tom Holland to be in the Venom symbiote suit way faster. So they're doing this sooner, and they're doing it in Spider-Man 4 so that when we get to Secret Wars, Tom Holland's going to be in the symbiote suit, which is freaking amazing. Now, I do want to say here, let's treat this as rumor for now. Let's take this with a grain of salt. I believe the people that are telling me this behind the scenes. However, it's all just rumor for now. But having said that, this is freaking awesome news, dude. This is going to blow people's minds if this actually happens in the film. And it opens the door for so many different possibilities, so much to speculate about with this. Like, I was told this will probably happen at the end of the movie, right? And you'll see the symbiote go into the grave and Peter emerge, and that'll be like a big shocking thing at the end of the film. But I'm wondering, are we going to see Kraven actually wear the Spider-Man suit and go pretend to be Spider-Man and go around and brutalize criminals and murder criminals? Because that was a really cool aspect of the Kraven's Last Hunt run, when Kraven puts Spider-Man in the ground, then goes, pretends to be Spider-Man, and he goes and basically tarnishes the name of Spider-Man completely to the point where people think Spider-Man is a murderer. And I'm thinking about the whole thing with Wilson Fisk and him wanting to suggest that these heroes or these vigilantes are really bad and they need eliminated. It could perfectly make sense to have Kraven enter the movie pretending to be Spider-Man and tarnishing Peter's name. That would be so damn cool. And it would also kind of tie him to Daredevil, who also had this happen to him via Bullseye in the 3rd season of the Daredevil show. So maybe Matt is like, first time Peter, you know, and kind of just helps him deal with this as somebody is tarnishing his legacy. But guys, that's not it. We have to talk about how this ties into potential plot leaks about Venom 3 and what that's going to set up for Secret Wars. I've been told that the symbiote resurrecting Peter Parker and becoming his suit is going to allow Venom and Eddie Brock to be able to sense where Peter Parker is throughout the multiverse. Remember, they were setting something crazy up with the post-credit scene of Venom 2 and the post-credit scene of Spider-Man No Way Home. The symbiote is telling Eddie that he knows things from throughout different realities, throughout different multiverses, and he also knows who Peter Parker is when they come into 616. And there are massive rumors that Tom Holland's Eddie Brock and Venom will show up in Secret Wars, and somehow Venom 3 is going to lead to that. It might well lead to Eddie Brock leaving his own reality to go search for Peter Parker throughout the multiverse to try to discover what's actually happening as the multiverse collapses, and maybe he's actually going to have to team up with Tom Holland to fight against Kang or the Beyonder or these multiversal villains. And so all of that stuff that was being set up is going to pay off. Now, we don't know what Venom 3 is going to be like. There are a lot of rumors, but it's kind of unclear at this point. What are they doing with that movie? But regardless of how that movie happens, I believe it will end in a way where Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock and the Venom from his universe go go out into the multiverse looking for Peter Parker, who is also wearing a symbiote suit, and that's going to lead to some crazy, awesome, freaking nuts Marvel fan wet dream, holy shit, fan service to the fucking gills, craziness that will happen in Secret Wars. I want to know what you think about this, so let me know in the comment section below. And as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.